EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. They begin on the ground with Guerrero. Gets around him. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Their first play from scrimmage is a pickup of 13.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Here's Guerrero on 1st down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. You look at this Raiders defense. Well, they come into this one down at the 27th position in the league, Charles, against the run.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his rookie 2nd-round pick. And all the way down to the 26. A huge play there for Houston. 41 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Guerrero. Oh, nice move. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll try the middle with Guerrero. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. And Stroud now to throw. Touchdown! A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans are on the board first here in Vegas. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
Their own 37-yard line.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
They'll keep it on the ground. Mathis. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. The Raiders at 1-7 now on the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
This 2nd and 4. Throwing here, Purdy. Open man down the field, it's Bowers. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Brock Bowers, 46 yards. And the Raiders respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead is knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Stroud to throw it. He finds Bolden. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. On the give, it's Garindo. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. You look at this Raiders defense. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the Pats.
And from analyzing them and talking with their defensive coordinator, we know they have a full playbook. So look for them to mix up coverages, pressure one play, fall back the next. They'll do a lot of different things trying to confuse the offense.
Stroud looking to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
These two teams all tied after one. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 28. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. In motion goes the tight end. Handoff here, Guerrero. Down at the 25.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now Stroud. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And the Raiders are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And this is going to be intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Yeah, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
A handoff running right, Guerrero. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Here's Stroud. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, and now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Stroud. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Isaac Guerrero from 21 yards away. And the Texans have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss because that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The returner, Trey Tucker, going to bring this one out. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Up the middle they go. Mathis. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
3rd and 4. Back to throw, Purdy. And that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Texans will take over.
They're on the 32-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
Here's 2nd and 3. On the ground, here's Guerrero. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Looking to throw. Stroud. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is going to have a Texans first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
They'll run with Guerrero. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Back to throw now on 1st down. Complete here to the right to Bolden. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. From the 20, here's a 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Stroud. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup at 13 sets them up first and goal.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, first and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Isaac Guerrero hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. And that touchdown's going to put him in double digits now for the year. It's his 10th rushing touchdown of the campaign. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the Texans are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. And, Charles, yeah, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try to get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
He'll let this go for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
On 2nd and 10, Stroud. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. They'll look to throw again. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked up by Trayvon Merrill. And the Raiders are going to take over here up near the 40. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They've had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one. And the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Purdy from the gun. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
That's into the hands of his tight end, Bowers. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Purdy now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Purdy. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. Final play of the half, Stroud. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Purdy looking to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down and then some. Give them 29 yards.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They'll run on first down. Mathis. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll keep it on the ground. Mathis. And once again, not much running room, if any at all.